Go ahead, Stefania.
Hello, Zanetta. Hello, Rhonda. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Fun Fresh Fridays with myself, Stefania Pulio, Zanetta, and Rhonda.
Hello.
How are we today?
Good. It's
Good.
Happy
Friday.
it's Friday.
Happy it's Friday. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Happy it's Friday.
And it's Saturday morning here, so feeling quite alive. Already started my weekend, which is wonderful. But we have a great topic that we are going to talk about today. And
Yes.
first of all, exciting. First of all, I want to welcome everybody. Is everybody? Oh, bit of background. All good? Zanetta, you with us?
Yes.
Okay. Start again. I want to just say welcome everybody. Welcome to Fun Fresh Fridays. And we have an excellent topic, or a fun topic, an interesting topic that we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about the power of secrets. And we're going to be talking about all sorts of things about secrets, right? The effects of keeping a secret, not keeping a secret. Do we keep secrets? Even the mental health that it affects people when people are told to keep secrets.
Right.
And it's something that I thought about because a lot of the times I hear it with people where they've been told to keep a secret, which is fair enough. But you often wonder, if it's such a secret, why do we have that urge to want to tell someone about it? Because there's a little bit of psychology behind it, because it's when we don't keep the secret that makes it more exciting, believe it or not.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, detrimental to the person that told you the secret and doesn't want you to tell anyone. But yeah, the power of a secret. So what is a secret? Let's start with that. What is a secret? Well, the secret is when we are sworn to not say anything. When someone shares something with us, now it could be something legal, it could be something between a couple in relationships, it could be between friendships, but regardless, a secret is a secret. And what do you do when that secret can actually free somebody, get them out of, muddy waters, or when that secret really is impacting somebody's life, or impacting them in a way that is detrimental to their life? It can be quite detrimental, and it can be quite straining on the person who actually has to keep that secret. So, any thoughts, ladies? Have we, well, I know from experience, before I go on, I know from experience I have been told to keep a secret. However, you, I think we all have, really. And if you're out there in the audience, please let us know if you have been made to keep a secret. And if it's something really that you would have rather that person never told you, because when you don't know something, you don't know something, right?
Right.
So going back to me, I have been put in a situation where I was told something and I felt exactly like that. Why did that person really have that need to tell me? Because now, at the time, it's like, what do I do? I know if I said something that person maybe would get out of that situation, because I could see that they were in suffering, they were in pain. But if I spoke, then I was breaking my secret. I was breaking my promise. So in the end, I just revolted to, not telling, because at the end of the day, I swore, and I'm like that. When I say I have to keep a secret, I keep a secret. And I said, I know so many things that I'm going to take with me to the grave. And so be it, because they told me it might be involving someone else, but
Mhm.
who am I also to to share that? But again, it all depends on the situation and the circumstances. But what do you think, ladies? What have you ever been put in a situation where you have been sworn to secrecy?
Well, let me tell you about the Filipinos. Don't you tell a Filipino
Don't
nothing.
tell them nothing. Don't.
Don't tell a Filipino nothing.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's the truth. No. No.
Mm-mm.
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 That's a call. We
It's a
get up
cultural
early,
thing.
5 o'clock in the morning. They're already out there talking.
Really?
That is the
Yeah.
honest to God truth. That is very, very honest to God truth. Um, so well, me, it took me a while to get to where I'm at. But we're gonna go ahead. See, my sister.
There you go.
True. Don't tell Filipinos nothing. Don't don't
True.
tell Filipino. Yes, that is true.
Mm.
5 o'clock in the morning, they're already out there. We call them chismosas.
And we have another little comment here. It says, I think some people can't keep a secret because they like to be hurtful. Yes.
Oh.
Oh,
Mm.
oh, that is that. There's some truth to that. There is
Mm-hmm.
some truth to that. But yeah, it took me a while to get here. That I'm bound by two things. One is because I'm still a sorry, licensed minister, which and counselor, so that bounds me. Yeah, in that and also as a it's a part of my job, so I keep secrets. I keep everything. I can't divulge anything. I can't. Um, so a secret was told to me, and before I used to take it as a burden, but now I take it as, oh, somebody just wants to have someone else to know. Because when somebody tells you something, doesn't it make it like it's a burden? It's like now you're carrying their burden.
Mm.
Now I don't, I'm just here to hold the bag. That's it. And I won't let the cat out the bag. But yeah, that's about it. But it took me a while. Don't think that girl, let me tell you what I heard. I was there.
Right.
I was there.
Right.
You ain't heard it from me. Well,
Mm-hmm.
let me tell you what Rhonda's doing. So, or honey. Oh my God, Stefania, did you? Let me tell you what Stefania did. Yeah.
Right.
And to me, sometimes we think that our spouses or our loved one is exempt from keeping the secret, but to me, my husband doesn't know secrets. If you tell me something, my husband will never know. If you say it's a secret, my husband will never know. But the caveat to that is you must tell me it's a secret.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, that's true, actually. You can't
Mhm.
expect, because people do talk, right? It's just human nature. It's human behavior where they hear things, and it's somewhat called gossip as well. It's juicy
Mhm.
information, so it's a great talking topic. But if you specifically say, it's a secret, I I want to share it, because we're people that want to share all the time, right? We want to share. We want to, and even though it's our own secret, somehow we have that innate desire to want to share it with someone.
Mhm.
Rhonda, what do you think?
Well, I had a couple things. Like you said, there's a psychological impact on keeping a secret. So I was trying to think of what exactly. But then the comments that were made, I said, oh, okay, well, you can pick up the stress of the person with the secret if it's a pretty big secret. Um, I don't necessarily call it secrets. I hold things in confidence. Like if
Mm,
someone tells me something, I'm not gonna. Now I don't carry the weight of it though. It's
mm,
like that's their issue. But I'll keep it. I won't repeat it. But I
mm,
don't carry the weight of it. But I think that's something that's happened recently. Like I used to get really worried about, oh, something is going on with so and so, and oh, I hope they're okay, and why did they tell me? Because they know this stuff gets on me and all. Right? I used to do that, but now I know it's not. Um, it's not my burden.
Mm,
It's that other person's issue. If it's a really really um, something going on. Now, if it's a bad secret, like they're being hurt, then I'll tell those. They know, people know I'll tell it. If it's something like that, someone's getting hurt,
mhm,
that's not a secret. I'm going to tell. Like I'll tell you, I'm telling while I'm telling. Like I just recently did that. Like if you don't tell this is going on, I'm going to tell. As a matter of fact, I'm on the computer telling right now. So you need to stop me and do it yourself. Like, so I've done that. But as far as like, being held in confidence, I don't.
mm. Yeah.
Yeah, because secret to me has this attached to it. Like, ooh, something juicy, right?
exactly. That's what I was talking about before. The fact that you don't talk about it, it means that we always do opposite of what we're told not to do, right? So it becomes exciting. Becomes
Mhm.
but we have, who do we have here? Rich. Welcome, Rich.
Yes, welcome.
Oh, wow, welcome.
We
Um,
have the first male comment. Or
yes.
thank you so
Fantastic.
much.
Yeah. We love males. Not that we've had many males on our show, but we welcome them. And he says it's about character, it's about
Hmm.
trust. If you're asked to keep a secret, keep it. Right.
Mhm.
Okay. And then we have
Just
Jesse. Yes, it depends on the secret. Oh, and Richard, I've got a little conversation going on here, says, however, I agree about the guilt and burdens unless someone is in danger. Right. That's
Mhm.
that's so true. I'll tell you something in my practice with hypnotherapy, and when I got certified, we had to vow that if somebody's in danger, like if there's some kind of abuse, or someone is actually have said that they want to commit suicide or something that's going to be really detrimental to that person, we actually have to contact the police. And if we if we know that that's coming, we can actually tell that person and say, look, if you're going to tell me something that's going to involve death or you hurting someone, just know that it is my obligation to inform the authorities about this. So when it comes to something like that, yeah, that's just part of our work. So it was just, that was like pretty, wow. I haven't had to do that, thank God. I hope I don't have to. Anyone wants to take their own life, I- or wants to take somebody else's life, or has, I think, because that would be quite a stressful, very stressful situation.
hmm Yeah. In my line of work, which is discrimination in the workplace, uh, we do harassment and we also do sexual harassment. So there was a time where a complaint came in, and it was actually a sexual assault. So we're trained to not take that at all. We'll take that information, but we'll immediately send it on up for immediate investigation, immediate action. So yeah, those are certain things that I'm bound under. Uh, However, there's the side of minister, counselor, where I'm actually not bound, but to take that in confidentiality. So it's almost like, confession to the priest or to the pastor.
Mm,
Those are, they're not bound
mm,
to say those things. So you're kind of put in that predicament of should I, shouldn't I, kind of thing. So, and is it a secret that should be kept a secret?
Hmm.
mm,
Should it be?
Yeah.
That burden now comes to you, that the person is telling you, and I have to ask, do you allow me to tell? Would you give me permission to say something? And then that has that dialogue, then I'll understand and know where that individual is coming from. But still, it's a burden, right? It's a something that you don't wish on anyone, that you get those kind of secrets.
mm. And we have
Yolani?
yes, Milani is. Do you think? She says, do you think the person telling the secret really wants the secret to be known? Hmm. I call for help or share the burden. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying before. If it's really something you don't want anybody to know, you just want to keep it inside. If you're sharing it, it could be a call for help. It could be, you want to make the burden lighter, not feel so much guilt, possibly, because, usually behind secrets, there's some kind of shame, guilt, feeling of burden. Yes. What do you think, ladies? Can that be?
I can speak personally to that one. I think it's to share the burden, not so much help, because there are some things that you have to make decisions out of if it's a distress or if it's a stressful situation. Some things you're the one who have to make the decisions to come out of. But often it's to share the burden, and then to speak to the other part of it when I'm talking, having conversations with Zanetta, I will let her know which one I'm talking to. Like I'll say, "Can I speak with the first lady?" Or "Can I speak with the EEO counselor?" Or "Can I just speak to Z?" And I do that because it's a different answer based on who I'm talking to. And I really do that. And Z can attest, I do that.
She does.
So, mhm. Yeah.
Right. Good. And Rich says, however, I agree about the guilt and burden unless someone is in danger.
Yeah.
Yes. And Jessie, by the way, anyone out there that would like to join us, because this seems to be like a really juicy conversation, right? You are welcome to come up on stage and talk and share with us, converse with us, because we'd love to have you. But Jessie says many families get in trouble with what goes on in this house, stays in the house. Yeah. Oftentimes, molestation happens, and that perpetrator ends up having more victims that aren't known until. Mm. Is that
Mm-hmm.
something you have worked with, Zanetta? I can see you nodding your head like with real conviction there.
Mhm.
Yes, because uh, when it comes to sexual molestation or incest or any of that nature, or rape within the family dynamics, or are happening with a child in the family, or anyone in the family dynamic, the guilt of the shame outweighs the act.
Mhm.
And that's just a fact with any
Mhm.
families.
Mhm.
The guilt of shame. So this brought shame into our family. We're a very prominent family, or we have this going on. Even with the neighbors or whoever, they're engaged or they allow in their lives, they don't want nobody to know that, because it's a shameful thing. And so the secrets stays within the house. You know, what happens in this house stays in this house, and it becomes a hush hush. It becomes a, oh no, we're not going to talk about that, that's taboo, when actually the act is taboo and needs to be dealt with. And so, and that's why it does. She is correct. It perpetuates what happens to, what happens in the house now goes outside of the house. So the individual who's doing the sexual acts, the violation of sexual act, will start doing it because they gave a silent permission. Let that sink in.
Right. Actually, that whole concept of what goes on in the house stays in the house gives silent permission. And it has the effect on the victim as carrying the burden of the act and not the perpetrator. I don't know if that's the intended effect of it, but that's what happens most of the time. The victim is the one who carries the burden of that secret. Most times, the perpetrator is not even thinking about it.
No, no, and sometimes the victim becomes they turn into the blaming. They blame themselves because everybody else is okay with it, so therefore it must be my fault.
Right.
Yeah.
Jesse says, right. And then we have, Jesse also said, that person has died or someone finally speaks up. Yeah, because sometimes that happens, that only someone speaks up after that person. So is that, how do you deal with that? Is that a secret that still must be kept? Just because that person has died, does that give you permission to?
Well, here's a question. The question when we're talking about secrets, what is the only thing that can set us free?
You tell it. You gotta tell.
The truth, right? The
Tell
truth
the
is
truth.
the only thing that can set us free, because we have become captured, we have become imprisoned, we have become burdened, we have become enchained with this secret. So yes, the only way to be free is to tell the truth.
Well, actually, if I can share a story, because this
Go
story
ahead.
is quite interesting and is totally related to what we're talking about. When I was living in Italy, I had a very dear friend who, they were married, husband and wife, had a daughter, and he was in his mid-50s and the wife was about 50. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, a daughter pops up, his daughter, that he didn't know of, right? And she was about 30 years old. So when she stepped back into his life, he didn't know. He knew that that at the time that woman he had a fling with, or was, I can't remember the whole story, she got pregnant, and basically she agreed that she was going to abort the child. She then took off out of another city and went up north. This was in Sicily. She went up north and started a new life. Now, when she started a new life, they tell you she didn't abort that child. She had that child, and she remarried when that child was probably a year old. So the new husband was then the daddy to this young woman. So for 30 years, this was a secret, because the grandmother, right, who knew the whole story and knew who she would, who she was dating or got pregnant to and everything, was sworn to secrecy, that she was not to tell this young girl as she grew up that, the now husband was not the real father. This is in Italy, by the way. So understand the cultural, and we're talking about Sicily. So Sicily's like, you know, it's secrecy. It's so called, they say, mafia land. So no one knows anything. No one sees anything. Ooh, so
I need to move to Italy then.
this woman, this grandmother,
West side of Chicago.
yeah, listen to this. This
Just saying.
grandmother was on her deathbed. And this granddaughter, she was living in Milan. The grandmother was in Sicily, so she'd come down, spend her summers in Sicily, up and down, never knew anything. When she was on her deathbed, she came down to visit her grandmother as she was dying, and before she died, she told her the truth. And so you can imagine what happened, right? That's when my friend kind of went crazy, because like out of nowhere, this young lady sets up an appointment with him through another friend. I don't know how it happened, and says, "I'm your daughter." And he couldn't deny it, because she's a splitting image of him. She's like a photocopy, honestly. And yeah, that's what happened. So it totally changed the dynamics for a while of his relationship with his then current wife and his daughter. And it was only because, the grandmother spoke, and then her desire was to really meet her father. And of course, she was angry with the mother. So it really does create a lot of,
A lot of truths have been told during the deathbed.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of truth has come out during deathbed, and it gives the burden to the person who's receiving it. Because the person telling it goes away. They're gone, and now the burden of this secret for how many ever years, is now become the burden of the person. A secret was shared to me with a good friend. She told me what happened, and a secret was told to her, and it's a devastating secret. And I told her, I said, it's not yours to carry. That secret is not yours to carry. I believe that the person that was transitioning just wanted to be free, because she's carried that for so long. And because of now transitioning, because we have this, especially in the church world. In the church world, there's a lot of secrets going on, and a lot of what happens in this church stays in this church. Yeah. But then when they get to the deathbed, they want to tell all the secrets, because there's a notion of you need to tell the truth, you need to be free in order for you to transition into heaven. So that's when they start dumping out. And it causes a bit of a disdain, or a riff that goes into the church. A lot of damage happens when that is said. But the friend of mine, I told her, I said, it's not yours to carry. You just know an information. You're just now more knowledgeable of what actually happened. You now have the truth. And that is all that is it. It is not yours to carry. So, and I believe that's really what it is. It's not yours to carry. It's just information.
I like that, Zanetta, what you said, because when we say secret, it has this connotation to it, doesn't it? Whereas if you just keep it as, well, it's information that I know, period.
Yeah.
I like that. Yes. So, Rhonda, have you got anything to share?
Well, I keep thinking about the comment that Rich made, that we tell secrets to be hurtful. And then connected to your secret, your story about, Janetta, your story about, I want to call it the deathbed confession.
Mm-hmm.
It's I think sometimes they're selfish when it's those kinds of secrets.
Mm.
It's not fair for anybody. Maybe it's your daughter, but that's not your secret. It's your daughter's secret. Some of them are not fair, and maybe it's unintentional hurtfulness. Um, but you can't have a 30-year-old woman who thought someone else was her father and now find out at 30 she's not who she thinks she is. That's not fair. But that's one of the secrets that she chose to keep. So it would have been easier, or I shouldn't say easier, better if it were told, and then let all parties come to grips with it. So there's some hurtfulness with that one, I
I
think.
agree. Yeah, I agree because, well, because there's other people in play, right?
Right, right.
There's the dad, there's the mom. I mean, the stepdad, and
Stepdad.
then there's the mom. They chose not to tell the daughter. So
Mhm.
there's a lot of people in play here that are keeping secrets that is actually damaging to someone. You,
It's
you know,
damaging.
it becomes a question of, now I don't know who I am. Now I don't know
Hmm.
my identity. I'm living a lie, which
Living a lie.
in actuality, no, she's not living a lie. It's still mom and dad, right? It's just the concept of,
The concept of who I thought was my dad is not really my dad. And now
yeah,
who can I trust if my mom and my grandmother won't tell me the truth? And they're the first people I know in the world. How can I trust anybody else to tell me the truth? Now that's a far fetch, but I know people make those connections all the time. They do
yeah.
it all the time. How can
It's not. I don't think it's far fetched. I think I would say that I would think the same thing. And then not only that, I would add on, what else other secrets are you keeping from me?
now that's the one. What else are you not telling me?
Yeah, well, actually, if we're relating it to that secret that or the story that I just told you, it was actually even more like twisted.
Hmm.
It's juicier. I mean, it's not a
Hmm.
secret anymore because everyone knows. But the thing was, while the son was seeing her daughter, she was secretly seeing his father, and no one knew that. So she shared that on her deathbed as well. It was crazy. It was really twisted. It was a bit like, The Bold and the Beautiful, that series you have there in the States. And I went, OMG. But that was sort of, I guess she released her burden, but also the burden that obviously she must have had a little bit of resentment for his father, because why would you do that too? You know what I mean? Because then it had ramifications on, even though they were in their late 70s, 80s, the couple, the grandparents or his parents, it still created a rift that you really don't want.
Yeah, yeah. I well, I'm thinking from where I am today, the state that I'm in today. Uh, I don't know the benefit of having a secret. I don't know. I mean, okay, so when it comes to national security, those kind of things, we understand that. But when it comes to relationships,
Mm, that's
when it comes to whatever relationship it is, whether father, daughter, mother, family, friends, best friends, things like of that, spouses, boyfriends, that I don't see any benefit of keeping a secret, because can you under the turmoil the person is going through? It just causes a battle on the inside, and it's a struggle, and it's a war going on inside. I want to say this, but I can't, so I'm going to act this way. So there's there's a lot of things, a lot of dynamics that goes with it.
Mm. And Jesse, would you like to read that, Zanetta?
Sure. Was watching a Christmas movie like that last night. Mom kept the dad away, but he was in the son's life as a coach just to be near him. Secret for 25 years until son overheard dad wanting to tell him.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Because here's the realness of everything. Secrets will always come out.
Service, yeah.
It might be 50 years, it might be 5 minutes.
Depends. Depends how fast their legs are.
It's still going to come out, it's still going to come out. So, and I'm still at the, I don't see any benefits. Oh,
Mhm.
yes, it does.
Leads to lies. Secrets
It
lead
does.
to lies. Yeah, because then you need another lie to cover it up, and then another one, and then another one.
And another one.
And then
And another one.
you forget what lie you said and who you said it to.
Mhm.
That's what can happen.
Yeah, and you can't do that to me because I have such a, I listen to every word, everything. Well, no, that's not what you said the first time. The first time you said this. So
Mhm.
what's really going on? Well, no, I meant, no, no, you did not mean that.
Mhm.
You know?
Right.
No, because what you said is this. That doesn't mean
Mhm.
what you're saying now. So what really is going on? Oh, okay, the truth is, oh, well, you could have told me that in the beginning. You know,
Mhm.
yeah, what happens in the dark will come to light. It will always, always. So yeah, is there benefit in keeping secrets? I mean, me, no. I'm gonna be on the left on this one. I'm not gonna be on the middle on. I'm not gonna be on the middle on. I'm not gonna straddle this one. I'm gonna give a hard no. There's no benefits.
Yeah. There's no benefit to keeping secrets, but I do keep confidences. So secrets meaning, what did I do? I'm going to tell you what I did. I'm not going to tell you. I mean, not going to hold that as a secret. Yes, I did this and this. Yes, I was there, or I said this. I'm not going to hold that. But if someone tells me something in confidence, I'm going to keep that.
Hmm.
Because if something, when you were talking about when I mentioned there's always something else going on behind it, and you said, because they were also dating each other. Sometimes there's some juiciness to secrets. Sometimes you want to hear it, or the people who want to hear secrets, because yeah, what else happened? They kind of lean in. It's kind of juicy. Secrets can be juicy. It's like, can you believe that they were seeing each other and wow, and she didn't know and they didn't know either, and they're in front of each other. There's some juiciness to secrets. But even with juiciness, when it's about me, I'm going to tell you. And if someone else tells me something, I'm going to hold it. Now, I'm not going to hold the weight of it. I'm not going to be burdened down by it. But if they wanted somebody else to know about it, they'll tell them. I'm not going to. I'm not going to tell them. But yeah, there's some, sometimes it's that whole gossip thing that's connected to secrets. And sometimes they're juicy. I mean, they are. Some people's lives are. It's like All My Children, One Life to Live, General Hospital, Guideline. It's like a soap opera. So there's
Bold
some
and the
juiciness
beautiful.
to it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
So
I think real life is more of a drama than the dramas that we watch on TV.
it is. You can't make this stuff up.
Where do you
You
think
can't
they
make this
get it
stuff up.
from? Where do you think they get it from on TV? Yeah, real life.
your life. Exactly. We say, oh, it's just like the soap operas. Instead, it's the other way around. That's where they're getting
Mhm.
their content from, their topics
That's
and
where
their
they get it from.
subject matter.
Yes.
But I have a question. What about, how does one feel when you do share a secret, okay, and then that person that you share it with lets it
Finds
out of,
out.
yeah, or
Mm.
you finds out that you've shared that secret, or that secret has gotten out, like it was something I shared with my best friend, and then why are you laughing?
I won't be telling that person anything anymore.
Right.
They can't hold
No,
water.
no. And the thing is, the way that person says it, you're gonna know who told, because you tell different people different parts of your secret. So you're gonna know exactly who said it. If you do hear it again, you're gonna know who said it because you told them a specific part of it. So yeah, you're gonna say, yeah, so and so said that because I only told them this and this. No one else knows that but them. So you're gonna know who said it.
Mm.
At least I'm like that. I don't tell everybody all parts of things or anything. So if I get details, I'm gonna know who said
Oh wow, you're very clever.
it. I'm gonna know who said it.
But it's hurtful.
Isn't
It,
it?
it's hurt. It's hurtful. I know that it would be hurtful to me if I told someone in confidence, quote unquote secret, and then it got out. Um, it, yeah, it would question me and my choice of friends,
Absolutely. Yeah.
and I'd rather tell it to my sister because my sister is tight-lipped. But then there's certain things that here, okay, you guys can answer the question. That's what about you, Stefania? Your answer to your question before I ask mine.
No, I wanted to hear Rhonda first. She didn't really answer it,
Oh, okay, Rhonda.
and then I'll
Mm.
answer. Sorry.
How would I feel if someone told my secret?
Yeah.
Was that the question?
Yeah.
I thought,
Like.
oh, well, I don't really tell too many. I only tell secrets to two people. So it's really, I don't divulge a lot of things. So I only really talk to two people. So if either of the two of them said anything,
You know.
just saying. But yeah, I only talk to two people. So
Mm,
how would I feel though? It would be pretty deep betrayal
mm.
Mm.
because I don't talk about things with everybody. Very few people. Most people just think I smile a lot and I laugh and I crack jokes, and that's what people know. And the people who know more than that, there are only two in the world. So that's it.
What about you, Stefania?
Well, definitely, over the years, I think like anybody, I'm sure there's many people out there who would probably resonate with what I'm about to say. As you journey through life, you learn to know who to speak to or who not to speak to, or really just not
Mhm.
really speak to anyone. And a bit like, you know, yourself, you speak to your sister, and Rhonda, you have two very special people. I would say it's my mum. My mum, so, she keeps secrets, and it's like I know it's really safe with her, really safe. Um, yeah. So it is hurtful. It is very hurtful. And you know what really is hurtful? If you've ever shared something and they've added something else which is not true, and that's really out of spite,
Mm,
that's even
mm,
worse because they've just added their own little bit, just to add a little bit more salt to the wound. And
mm.
yeah, it's very hurtful.
So you're gonna tell my stuff and add to it?
Uh-huh.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm,
Mm.
That's
mm,
that's not good at all. But yeah,
Mm.
so I think like Rhonda said too, you just say something that, but I don't really, yeah, I don't share secrets. If anything, I write them to get them out. I think that really helps me. And there's stuff too that say I can't even tell my mum. You know what I mean? Like there's just stuff that you can't tell anybody, but it's your own healing to get it out because it can be detrimental to our own health. Not that we're carrying someone's secret but something that we need to share, but we know that it can't be shared. So I write it out, and then I even dispose of the paper. I burn it. I have like a little ceremony to like know that it's gotten out there. Or sit in the park, have a conversation with God. Which I know sounds pretty crazy, but that can actually help. That can help. Or, for some people, I've known of people even having conversations with strangers, people they don't know. And that happened with me, where I was in a park, minding my own business, just sitting there watching, people go by and just enjoying the park. And this lady sat next to me, and she was like really friendly. I think, oh, she's really friendly, and she didn't want to know anything about me. But she started sharing her story. Like she just started talking. She said, I know this might be a bit overwhelming for you, but I need to talk to someone, and I know that you don't know me and you don't know anyone that I'm talking about, so I'm just going to tell you. Would you care to listen? I was like, I have coach written on my face even in the I swear to God, that's what happened to me. That was in Italy. And
or trash can on your face. Let me dump this on you.
And, I didn't give her any advice. I just nodded my head. I knew she wasn't right. You could tell she wasn't. She was suffering from some kind of mental, possible anxiety, depression, some kind of illness. And and she actually thanked me for listening and said goodbye. And that was it. I never saw her again. So
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
So if somebody comes to you and tells you of what they heard about you, and yet you know the truth, but you don't want to tell the truth because it's not your place to tell the truth, and what do you do? What do you do?
I'm actually in that position right now.
Oh,
I am.
Ooh, okay.
Yes. I know both people, and without giving too many details, because they will know if they're watching, they'll know what I'm talking about. So can't give too many details, but I know both parties, and I know the stand of both parties.
This is a secret, Stefania.
I know
I know it. We need to know.
And
go ahead.
Oh man, I know what's going on, and one doesn't know what's going on, but they're impacted, and the other one is the one doing the impacting, but they don't know yet that that's happening, and I know, but they don't know, and I'm like, oh yeah, no. I'm just gracefully backing out of that. I'm like, that's sticky. That's sticky, and I don't want to be in the middle. I don't want to say, I knew such and such was coming to the other party from this party, right? I don't want to be in that position, but I know it is.
Oh, wow.
It's like, whoa, let's get out of that one.
Yeah.
But it's pretty hard to, because I know what's coming. So it's hard.
Yeah. Yeah. So with me, it was told to me, and I was like, what? Like that's so far from the truth. Yeah, but I didn't say anything. I said, you know what? I don't need to say anything. I don't need to defend the truth will always come out. So just wait for it. And so that put me in a predicament of what you know. So this is what's being said. So this is the quote unquote secret that's being, and now it finally came to me, and I'm the one who's being told, what the secret that I supposedly did.
Oh no.
Yeah, the secret that I supposedly did that I didn't know that I did. I wish I knew.
Oh no. Oh, that's terrible.
So yeah, it goes back to what I was saying before, right? I mean, that's even worse because it's something that didn't even happen, right? That's a whole
Right.
it's a lie, and they've
Mhm.
created something out of
Yeah. So what
Right.
my sister said, the secret leads to lies. Yeah.
Mhm.
I was a victim of that secret turning into a lie. And but I waited long enough for that secret to come out. The truth.
Yeah. I actually have a story
And I can,
connected to that I can
yeah, and
actually share details in. Oh, go ahead.
oh yes, go ahead. Go ahead. Share that detail. No.
Oh, yeah. So it's actually work related, but I can tell details. So the last 4 or 5 years of the position that I was in, the supervisor tried to get rid of me, just would make things up to try to get me out of that position I was in. And one of the coworkers wrote this whole statement. Oh, she was on the phone. She was on the computer. She was ordering off Amazon. The person was calling my name. I didn't respond. Wrote a statement. I was not there that day.
Oh,
I was not even there that day.
Wow.
But they wrote a statement about it. They said I did all of these things and they were calling me and I didn't respond to them and they just felt so abandoned. And
The
I
reason
was
why you didn't respond because you weren't there.
because I wasn't there. Yeah. But they wrote it out. They submitted that as a document and signed it
That's a sworn statement
as a
under oath.
sworn statement. And
That
all you had to
is
do was look at my time and leave and see I was not there.
fraudulent.
It was fraudulent.
so what happened then?
Well,
Truth
what
came
happened
out.
then was the truth, it went pretty far. I had to really plead my case. I'm like, are y'all missing? Look at this paperwork. I'm not here. How am I being accused of something? And I wasn't here. So it went pretty far. But it finally got to a point where someone was actually reading and said, oh, you all stop it. Stop it. And the two that pushed it that far, they both got reprimanded because stop it. But it went far.
That's nasty.
How people would go so far for a lie.
For a lie. Yep. And who will co-sign the lie? That was the thing. That was what was really getting me. So many people were agreeing. So, oh yeah, she did it. And I'm like, I wasn't there. I wasn't there. I was off. I was off that day.
Yeah. And which is so sometimes what's the secret that wants to keep it a secret and turns into a lie to keep it a secret, and the lies that's being told hurts somebody else, and the lies that are being told is easier or more believable
Mm-hmm.
than the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So the truth, when you tell the truth, no way.
Mm-hmm.
But the lie was easier. The lie was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I can see. Yeah, I can see that. Yep.
Yeah.
I will believe that.
Yeah. But it was much harder to believe that it was all fabricated. They really could not believe it was a whole lie. They couldn't.
Wow,
They couldn't believe it.
nasty. Well, that
It was
that's
nasty.
yeah. So when you said they got reprimanded, is that what you
Mhm.
called it? So what was the reprimand? Were they dismissed from work? What
Well, let me see. Are they still there? What can I say? Um, it was
Disciplinary
bas
action.
yeah. Well, no, not really. They just said, "Oh, y'all don't do that again." I did. They didn't get disciplinary action.
Not a
They
letter
didn't.
of reprimand.
They got a verbal warning.
warning?
Mm.
And what would
That's
you have
it.
gotten if it was
I
true
would
that,
have gotten suspended.
see,
I would have been suspended, but
that
they got a
doesn't
verbal
make
warning.
sense. That doesn't make
Hmm?
sense. That doesn't make sense, does it, really?
Hmm.
So I just want to quickly talk about secrets between couples. And Zanetta touched on that before, where she has, she knows information, and which is fair enough. If it's something someone has shared with you and your partner, it doesn't involve your partner, well, that's something someone has shared with you in confidence, right? But what about if there are secrets between couples? That obviously, whatever information that secret is, it's pertaining to couples. How 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 does that affect relationships? I mean, has anyone ever experienced that? Been in a
How,
relationship like that?
how do you mean? How do you mean secrets between couples?
Well, I guess well, I guess it's more like a lie, isn't it? Like, it could be a lie where you're secretly got maybe another life.
Mm.
You're secretly doing something on the side that could be detrimental to your relationship.
Um,
Oh, I love the laugh.
Look, if I'm married and he secretly has another wife, that's not a lie. That's bigamy.
That's big.
That's
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 illegal.
against the law. That's
That's illegal.
no, that's not a lie. It's
Yeah.
no. So, but I understand what you're talking about. Is there a side piece? Is there
Mhm.
somebody on the other side of the river or the railroad tracks that calling him dad? um, it, yeah, I've had that happen to me. Very naive about certain things, and then it wasn't told to me. I found out myself, and it was given to me on a platter,
Mhm.
to where it could not be denied.
Mhm.
You know how when you well, so and so told me that they saw you over there and with another woman, and so they can make up a story and make the story so believable that you begin to question yourself. Well, maybe that yeah. No, this was wrapped up in a beautiful bow. Information that I found,
Mm.
and there was no way that it could be denied. Name, credit card number, the item, and where.
Wow.
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 And it sure wasn't
Sir.
me.
Sir.
Wow.
It sure wasn't my
Wow.
name on there. It
Wow.
sure. so, so yeah, I mean,
Wow.
yeah, so when I saw that, what went through my mind was when, how? why? So all of that, and I was like, you know what, dear John,
Mhm.
put it with that little gift, all that right there, and I'm gone. I text messages, phone call, block. I don't need your explanation.
Mhm.
But
No.
that's just me. Now it's just me.
Mhm.
But everybody deals with things differently. What's right for you might not be right for someone else, but
Right,
it's got to feel right to you. It's got to feel
right.
right to that individual. I think so. But yeah. But the other quick question, because it's
Mhm.
all about relationships. What about you have a girlfriend and not because you heard it, but because you know that her man is
Ooh.
someone else or has had
Oh,
an
see,
affair.
that happened to my girlfriend.
Mm-mm.
And I went to the man and I said, if
Mm-mm.
you don't tell her, I will. And I'm going to give you until tomorrow
Mm.
to tell her. And if you don't by tomorrow, this time, I'm going to call her and I'm going to see if she's going to call me first crying.
Mhm.
So that's my style.
And that actually happened? Is that
Yes,
actually happened? Oh, and the outcome was he did tell the
he did
truth.
tell.
He did.
Oh
Mm.
He
wow.
did. And I got the call that she was crying and I was like, yep. And I didn't let her know that I knew. I just consoled her.
Wow, that was good. Wow.
Wow, I like that, Zanetta. You handled that
Wow.
very well.
You're not going to put me in the middle. Mm-mm. This is your
Mhm.
dirt.
Yeah, exactly.
So I had an experience. He wasn't, well, I can't say he wasn't cheating, but um, I got a phone call that said, Rita, why are you calling me? I told you, don't call this number. I'm, g- I'm going to give you what I told you I was going to give you. And I said, what? And so I was talking with that person's spouse and called them back. And I said, what was that? And I said, I can't, because I'm gonna hurt somebody. I'm, I said, I'm not safe. I'm not safe. I'm not safe. I'm not safe. And it was detrimental for a long time
Hmm.
um, between her and I. Um, but then eventually we did reconnect, but that was detrimental. So I'm like, I'm not safe. I'm not safe. Like, what in the world was that? But it was to make it appear to be that there was something going on. Like I'm like, no, I'm gonna hurt somebody. I can't. I can't. I don't play games like that. It's terrible.
Yes, yes. All right.
Terrible.
Well, that's been very interesting. So,
But for my own point, so that was a scenario. But for my own point with that, there's some things about my younger self that I didn't bring into my current relationship. And no, I don't have children in other states and things like that. It's not that. It's just things about being younger that I did younger
Hmm.
that I didn't bring. Because sometimes, depending on who the person is, they can't handle your former self.
Hmm.
So some things you don't share.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
So there are some things I don't share.
And that's fair enough. I
Yeah.
think when two people come together, um, this is the present, that was the past. Does that past of me affect you and I now? Yes, no. You know, do I wish to tell him or her? Yes, then that's fine. No, well, that's fine too. Um, I think, we all have a past, and we can share it or share not to share it, because too there's a flip side to that, because you may even fear that that person may use that against you in years to come. I don't know,
Mhm.
depending on what it is that you've shared and what you've done.
Right.
Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, I think the past is past. That person has to just accept you the way you are in the present, and the future they're on.
Mm-hmm.
That's my opinion. Unless you desire to share it, then that's a different story. But if you don't desire to, that's okay too.
Yeah, and it has to be okay.
Mhm.
You know, it has to be okay. I've known some of my friends were like, "Oh no, I need to know everything." No, you don't,
No.
because if you know everything about that individual, you might change your mind.
You might do, yeah.
You might change your
Yeah.
mind in being with them.
Mm,
So, yeah, it has to be okay.
mm,
You know, because who you're with is the person today, not the past.
mm,
They've grown, they've matured, they've evolved.
mm.
Um, so why go in depth in the past? No
Absolutely.
need. No need. Unless, unlike, with me, I had shared some things in my past with my husband because I felt it was necessary. Because there are certain things, certain triggers that would come up, and so he would know why those things, and that's the only reason why. But as far as my craziness in the past, my crazy relationships in the past, what I did to my, you know, how crazy I acted. Yeah, you don't need to know that.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
man.
and it has to be okay. You know, how he had his past relationship, how he was in his past relationship. I don't need to know that. All I
Yeah.
need to know is who he is right now to me. That
Mm,
is it. That's good
Mhm.
enough.
I think so. Yeah, I agree on
Mhm.
that too. All right. Well, we've been speaking for how long now?
An
Oh,
hour and 8 minutes.
wow. So, what do we want to like? Any tips? Any messages we would like to leave our audience with, ladies? Anything you'd like to share before we kind of wrap it up,
Hmm.
Zanetta?
Hmm.
Rhonda?
The only secret that is secret is the one that you don't tell.
Mhm. Yep.
That's it. So if you don't want your secret out,
Mm, don't
Don't say
tell.
it.
don't tell.
Don't tell. Don't
Because
tell.
we're all human beings.
Mm-hmm.
We're all human beings, and even the ones that we trust the most, even the ones that we think that could keep a secret, at a moment of vulnerability, at a moment of weakness, at a moment of anger, can blurt it out.
Mm.
To Rich's comment earlier, to hurt people.
Cool.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. Rhonda?
Yeah. Um, no, secrets are not really, they're not good to keep. It's good to keep confidences. Someone tells you something, trusting you with information, but a secret. um, it doesn't have a good outcome most of the time. You're holding someone's identity, you're holding someone's emotional state. There's a lot held inside of a secret, and it's just not good to give someone that much power.
Mm.
There's power with it. If you
Mm.
tell, what is that going to do to someone? And most of the time, it's devastation. So they're not good.
Mhm.
They're not good.
Absolutely. Well, in Italian, there is a saying, and it doesn't sound very good when you translate it in English, but there's this, it's like my grandmother used to say, you don't tell anyone if you don't want anyone to know, right? But the saying is like this: you don't even tell your own guts, meaning your intestines guts, because your guts, your intestines will betray you, because somewhere down the line they'll go glug, 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 glug.
Mm.
Which means they've betrayed
She
you.
got bubble guts.
And it's true. I mean, it doesn't sound quite right like it does in Italian,
Oh, say
but
it. Say it in Italian. Say it.
eh, ok, so in Italian is non ce lo dici neanche alle tue bodelli, perché le bodelli ti tradiscono, because your guts will betray you.
Yeah, Budelli.
Bodelli. Oh my goodness. And you got to say bordelli, bordelli, because there's a second. If you don't pronounce it right, bordello. You know what that is? A brothel, which is not. It's without the R. Bordello. You understand? So you got to pronounce it right, and that's what I used to always end up in big trouble in Italy when I would pronounce my words, because I'd say one thing and it meant really something else. Stefania, don't say it like that. Do you know what that means? Like, and I didn't know. Could you say what you think you're pronouncing?
Budelli.
Yeah.
That's my belly.
Budelli.
My belly.
Budelli.
Oh my God. But there we go.
Oh, that's
It's something to laugh about. Yeah. So
That's funny.
thank you. Thank you, ladies. This was a
Yeah.
great conversation. Thank you to all our viewers out there. We thank you, and it was lovely to see some new fresh people come in and comment. And of course, every Friday we are here with Fun Fresh Fridays with myself, Zanetta, and Rhonda, who has been popping in every week, which is great. Woo! And thank you. Who do we have here? Is it Melanie? Yes,
Mialani.
Mialani. That's your sister, right?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you again for a wonderful topic. Learned much. Thank you, Mialani, and thank you to everybody else. And if there's any topics, anything you would like us to talk about, please, send Zanetta a message, or myself or Rhonda, and we will definitely get on it. But yes, thank you once again, and bye for now.
Until next time, our host for next time will be none other than Rhonda.
Rhonda, yes. Wonderful. And do we know what our topic is, Rhonda? Or we haven't
No, not
decided?
yet.
Not yet? Okay.
No,
Well, we're
it's
going
a
to
secret.
till next week.
It's a secret.
Until next week.
Until next
Yes.
week.
Till
So,
next week.
yeah, like to thank you for all those that are in the Philippines watching. They give me messages every day. They give me messages and say they watch it. Thank you so much, Jesse. Love you so much. Thank you for watching, and for all those. And Rich, my gosh, what a pleasant surprise. What a
He's
great treat.
excited. Hmm.
Yeah, if you're still on, thank you so much. And until next time, much love.
Bye for now.